Hey guys. Okay, so my name is Lauren and I have been with Blushington for going on 4 years now. And since our lounges are temporarily closed, we launched this virtual platform. So we're able to bring makeup, beauty, skincare, all to the comfort of your own home. You can book classes or parties, group, individual, bridal, one-on-one, and everything's customized. So we're gonna have a good time today. I'm very excited for this class because this is my age range. So I'm excited to teach everybody today. Let's see, I think we're just waiting on a few more people. I've got my scrunchie for those of us that grew up in the 80s. Okay, let's see. Okay, so again, I'm Lauren from Blushington, and I'm just gonna go over a couple technical things first. In order to follow along with me the best that you can, I suggest that everybody pins my video. Yeah, they don't have active speaker view anymore. So what you do is just on the top right corner of your screen where it says view. Oh yeah, you could hit speaker view, or you could just go to where I'm talking, and on the top right corner of there, it'll give you the opportunity to pin video. Okay. Speaker view. Okay. So that way you can follow along, and my screen will be the big one in front of you. So the class that we're doing today is makeup in your 40s. And of course, this applies to everybody, but I really wanted to create a class where I can teach women in my same age range, late 30s, early 50s, but this 40s is like, seems to be the best time in life, and everybody told me it would be. I agree. As I'm sure all of you know as well. You don't have to stay off of camera, by the way. If you want to come on camera and work along with me, yes, thanks, Sunita. If you guys want to be off, on camera and work with me, then I can kind of give some guidance as we're going along. But so this class, anyway, I wanted to create a special class for us, for the 40-somethings, and give everybody the opportunity to learn literally a fast, out the door makeup routine, because I've discovered the 40s seems to be the busiest time in life, whether you are running kids all over the place, hey Monica, or whether you are working, you're on Zoom, you have meetings. Some of us are doing all of the above. So it's really a time that you want to look like polished and professional, put together. You want to be taken seriously, but you don't have a lot of time. Maybe you don't even have the budget, and definitely a lot of us don't have the space to store a bunch of stuff. So this is going to be a great fast little lesson. Okay, any and all questions you can type in the chat box below. It's center bottom of the screen, and I will answer questions throughout the class. At the end, everyone will receive an email with a face chart and links to the products that I used. And we have someone from Blushington who will also type into the chat box like in real time, the links of products that I'm going to use. So you don't have to write all of that stuff down. But if you want to take notes on other stuff, we will broadcast this later on our YouTube channel. So that's basically it. Now I will give you a little disclaimer this is my actual routine, and it's a 10 to 15 minute max routine. But obviously it will take a little bit longer today because I'm teaching you all the techniques that are really vital to achieving this look. Okay, so I'm gonna sanitize my hands because we're all doing that all the time now. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is definitely start with a clean face. You want to be moisturized. I'll give you a couple little do's and don'ts. Do right now take the time to start taking your skincare seriously if you haven't been. Definite don't is like, don't wash your face anymore if you have been doing it with like your husband's like deodorant, body soap in the shower. I know, like, yeah, Monica's laughing because we've all done these things. You know, don't moisturize with body lotion. We're pretty much all at this stage where like we may just be at the very beginning of things starting to change just a little bit, not too much, but we can do everything to prevent, like, you know, aging rapidly now. So you definitely want to invest in some good skincare products. Sunscreen is a must-have, and I have to remind people, if you are working from home and you're sitting indoors in front of a computer all day, you're being exposed to blue light from the device, from the computer or other devices. So you still want to wear sunscreen. And there is one brand that I love. It's called Supergoop, and they have like body lotion that has sunscreen in it. And they also have hand cream that has sunscreen. So just think about that. Now, the blue rays do not cause, as far as is currently known, they don't cause like skin cancer, but they can cause premature aging. So that's just something to think about. So also, I would say if you're not using a serum, now's the time to start using a serum. Serum is like giving your skin a little vitamin. And this is my favorite one. This is a triple vitamin C. All the brands that we use at Blushington, they're all expertly curated, predominantly female-founded luxury brands. So yes, so I definitely recommend checking them out. But this is actually a clinical skincare line that a dermatologist we work with created. And this is amazing, and it like brightens and tightens the skin. It's a triple vitamin C serum. So, okay, so those things, and eye cream, under eye cream. Like, if you've gotten away without it for all these years, you want to start using it. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to apply a little bit of, let's see, okay. This is also that Beauty RX brand. This is a gentle exfoliating eye cream. And even though I already put some on before, I still, and there's kind of a specific order you want to do these in, and that will be in the face chart that you guys receive later. Just like a little cheat sheet for how and when to apply which products. So even though I already have some on, I still always put a little extra on right before I'm gonna put on makeup. And you can use, many people say to only use your ring finger because it is the weakest of all of your fingers, but I have a lot of hand control now that I'm a makeup artist. So I always use my pinky because I like that I can get really tightly in spots. So if you have your eye cream, just dab a little extra on there now. And what's nice about this too is that it's exfoliating, so it helps with darkness, under eye circles, and then it also helps like to prevent and even to remove sometimes that melia that some of us get from sometimes under eye creams are so rich and concentrated that you can get those tiny little like bumps under the eye. So this won't cause that. So next we're going to moisturize our lips because that part counts too. So now I will say, honorable mention, I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my lips, that eye cream. And this is another little trick that I have, and I put it on and around the edges of my lips. Now, there are people that do this with their eye creams, lots of people that do this with their eye creams. I do it specifically with this one because I want that skin being like smoothed and kind of exfoliated around my lips to prevent fine lines. So once I have that, I'm gonna use, this is a Blushington favorite. This is a Jouer lip enhancer, it's called, but it actually is like a moisturizer that's just for your lips. So it's a very unique kind of product. And if you have a lip balm or something like that that you like, that's what you would want to put on now. And when we do this with our lips now, by the time we get to doing them, like to putting lipstick or whatever we're gonna wear on, they're nice and smoothed out and softened. So now we're gonna do our base. Now this can be mineral products, BB cream, CC cream, foundation. I'm actually using a little combo of CC and BB cream. If you've taken my classes before, which several of you have, you will recognize these two that are my like two top favorites. This is the brand Herborian, and it has completely changed my life. It's like, one is the CC cream and one is a BB cream. So I kind of mix them so that I get just the right tone and just the right texture, because the BB cream is a little more dewy. But these have like, okay, so good question, Sheila. What is the difference between a CC and a BB cream? Okay, and Nisa too. I'm gonna tell you guys. So we have tinted moisturizer, we have foundation, we have sunscreen, we have serum, all of these things. BB cream is basically a mix of, usually it's about 5 different products. So that's why it like hit the market and just went crazy years ago, because it basically has the coverage of somewhere between a tinted moisturizer and a foundation. It's usually a little bit heavier than a tinted moisturizer, but a lot less than a foundation. Then it also will have serum ingredients. It will have, I'm trying to think, oh, it'll have sunscreen, it'll have primer, and then it'll have the color coverage. Now, CC, so that's BB, that stands for Beauty Balm. CC stands for color correction. So CC cream has everything that BB cream has, but it has also a built-in color correction. So both of these will give you, this one it says gives you like a baby skin effect. Like I said, that very dewy. And this one, are there BB creams that are non-transferring, long wearing? I will say that most BB creams, it'll set your product, whether it lasts long or not. And you always want to, I would always err on the side of using less long wearing products and just setting them properly, as opposed to using the very long wear products, because those really suction into your skin and they can be kind of difficult to really cleanse off without doing a job on your skin. But this, I will say that this CC cream, I've never put lip balm under my eyes at night. But I have put under eye cream all over my face. I've heard Beyonce does that too. Let's see. Okay, so for medium to light olive skin, you would probably want the golden. There's several different tones of these. And if you go to the Blushington website, there's actually a shopping concierge on there, and you can ask them any questions like to find your exact product color. And you can also, at the end, I will give you my Instagram handle. You can also DM me with any questions you have, like anytime about anything, beauty, skin, shopping, any of that related, okay? So, okay, so I mix my two, and what's cool about the CC cream is this one comes out kind of white, and then when you warm it up, it self-adjusts to your skin tone. But if you're using foundation, whatever it is that you're using, I'm using my hands because, again, I want a fast routine. So see, I'm rubbing it together and it's starting to change color. Yes, all of the Herborian products that we carry, the CC cream, the BB cream, and the CC Red Correct, they all have sunscreen. Only the primer doesn't. Okay, so what you want to do in application, whatever it is you're using to apply, you want to first kind of start at the center of the face, and there are some people that will take a tiny little bit and put it on and rub it in, and then take another tiny little bit. But again, like this is how this is how to do it when you really are pressed for time and need to get out the door fast. So now the thing that I love with this, also with the CC cream, because it has that color correction built in, you can put it everywhere. You can put it over your eyelids. And when you're putting something like this on, you really want to make sure that you're getting an even application, but that not so much that you're rubbing it into the skin, but you're spreading it evenly, like as if you were putting on sunscreen. And the best part about using, I use this instead of foundation. And I use this instead of foundation on brides, mothers of the bride, all the time. It has enough color payoff that it's suitable for even like, you know, really special occasions. No, it does not sink into wrinkles. That's what's so amazing. It has, it gives a high definition blur. So pores, like I have a lot of enlarged pores. I have rosacea, which this completely covers. And you also want to make sure, you don't have to add extra, but you want to make sure that you're really getting all the way to the ear. If your ears are super red with this, sometimes I just put a little right on there. Looks amazing in photos. And people constantly comment on how amazing my skin looks in person, and it looks like I have nothing on. Okay, Tamisha, we did not put on moisturizer before this because I had done that prior to starting. But if you're starting totally from scratch, then yeah, you definitely want to moisturize. And we did some under eye cream. You don't need both the BB and the CC. I kind of mix them to get like my exact perfect color and texture that I want. But again, that would be a great question to DM me about later, and we can talk like about exactly what would be the right combo for you based on your skin needs and based on how you want it to look. So yeah, but this gives a high definition to blur to lines, pores, wrinkles, basically everything, to texture if you have acne, scarring. Okay, so once you have that, and then again, like I said, if you're red like me, sometimes when I get a little more sallow in the winter, I'll mix in this Red Correct one. And I'll put it a lot of the times on my ears and down my neck for meetings, because I tend to get red and hivey, and this completely covers it. And it's got sunscreen in it, so I figure it's not like I'm covering my body with makeup, you know? All right, so once you have that done, I'm gonna show you guys, no, it doesn't, and I will say this also, I have on many occasions, don't tell everybody, even though obviously I'm telling you guys this, I've slept with this on. You can wear, like, you don't have to worry about this having any bad chemicals in it. You can wear this to work out, jump in the shower, not wash your whole face off, and not worry that it's like seeping in and it's gonna clog your pores and make them yucky. So yeah, I mean, again, it's all about setting. You really want to make sure that you set your makeup properly, and that does not include powder. This is the time in life also to let go of powder. It's nobody's friend. Monica's like, so true. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do, a fast, cover these under eye circles, cover this dark pigmentation, prime my eyelids, and set them all in one using a color correction palette. This is from Stila. This is how makeup artists expertly like camouflage all those dark under eye circles, and it just erases it. Now, the reason why we use this is because it's much more flattering, and it's much faster and easier to apply well than using concealer. It also has like just the perfect consistency. Wait, I just missed a question. No, we didn't. Okay, Teresa, we didn't have to use primer because the CC and BB creams have it already built in. So, okay. Oh, okay. So let's see. So this, again, this is the, let me close that. Close. Okay. I sing things a lot. Sorry. So this is the Stila color correction palette. So it has a little cheat sheet on the back. It is suitable for every skin tone, every skin texture. Okay, there are so many good moisturizers. It really depends on, this is the question I'm answering. It really depends on what like your skin needs are, but the most universal one that seems to be like the most popular at Blushington is that brand Beauty RX. We have one called Nourishing Moisture Cream. Here, I have it. And it's very like lightweight. Sorry, my lighting is crazy, but it's white and it's almost like a gel like texture. So it's very lightweight. It's very non-irritating. It's one of the few that my skin, which is sensitive and has that rosacea, can really tolerate. And yeah, it never feels like heavy or greasy. So that's the one I would recommend. That's the Nourishing. There are others, but this one is, I think, the most universally amazing. Okay, so back to the color corrector palette. So again, suitable for every skin tone, and I'm gonna use it with a beauty blender. Now this is the official original brand called Beauty Blender, and this is what we carry at Blushington. These are wonderful. You have to keep them clean. You have to use it damp, but I love it because it is a female-owned company. They're hand cut. You don't have to soak it, Autumn, but you definitely want to like run it under water, and I will run it under and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Let it get wet, but I squeeze everything out so that it's just barely damp when I use it. Let's see. Okay. We have so many wonderful people. I'm just looking at all the names. Awesome. Okay, so again, I'm using this. It's a great airbrushing tool. You can use it for foundation, eyeshadow, a million things. But I'm going to show you how to use it, and you'll see my most used colors because they're so almost gone. But these are all creams. These are powders, okay? So most of us have pigment under the eyes. If you don't, congratulations. You're very lucky. The majority of us do. Now, if you are medium skin tone, you're gonna most likely use this peach color. Sometimes I get a little warmer, so I mix a touch of that orange with the peach. If you are I would say a dark tan to the darkest skin color, you would want to use that orange. And then you can just like press a little of your foundation or your BB cream on top. And if you're very fair, you would want to use this light pink color. But this is where we're putting it. And this is how fast I do it. So I'm taking the Beauty Blender. I'm getting some on just the edge. I'm gonna mix. Okay. So you just want to apply it just where you have the darkness, okay? So I'm gonna do both eyes, and then I'm gonna do it on top of here as well. And when you use a Beauty Blender, you want to use just like a stamping motion. So what's great about this is very little product is needed, because I'm not like trying to cover with a flesh tone, a dark shade. I'm basically just putting a counteracting kind of color over discoloration. So this is how fast it goes when you're doing it daily. Now, if you don't have this at home, which most of you probably don't, for right now, you can use concealer or more of your foundation if you want. But you can see how fast that just kind of covered everything. And let's see. Now on my skin, it kind of just blends in. For sometimes when if I'm using just the darker one, you can see it as looking orange. This also is really great if you have any discoloration. Sometimes some of us will get discoloration around here or here, or if you're trying to cover like any hair growth, then you would want to use the darker orange one. But let's see. And I also, because I get very dark right in here, if you're like that, like me, you can I just turn it upside down this way and just stamp it in there. What do we think? I think I need a little more right under here. Okay, so the orange, Autumn, the orange would be to cover any dark pigmentation if you have dark skin. But if you have light skin, you can also use this to light to medium skin. You can use this to cover any other kind of dark pigmentation, like if you're covering a bruise or if you're covering hair growth. You know, some people have to take medications that cause hair growth in certain areas. So even when they remove it, they may have a little shadow of the hair. So that's what the orange is. And I actually mix the orange into that warm peach color for my own face. Okay, so once you have that done, and it's, you know, when you're not talking or doing anything, it's like, it takes like 2 seconds. Once you have that on, then you want to set the top part with powder. You're not going to set underneath with powder, never, never, ever. It's not necessary. And I'll show you a different way to set under your eyes. So the lavender powder is a brightening powder. This is great if you are very fair or if you are olive tone and are looking like starting to get sallow, because this will kind of counteract sallowness. So in the winter, I use this more. In the summertime and right now when my skin is still a little warm. Sallow means almost like a little yellowish green. If you get that color, you know what, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't get that color, then you wouldn't even know the difference. But yeah, some people, we almost get like a little bit greenish. Aw, Kathleen. I'll be sallow olive soon. I really will be. But so for right now, I'm going to use, this is a yellow, kind of like some people call it a banana powder, but this is going to be basically translucent with just a touch of color. So I'm using the same spot, just getting a bunch of this and just stamping it on there. So now my skin is totally set. Like I've got my skin coverage on. I've got my eyes primed and powdered. I've got my under eyes concealed. You know, I mean, it's not perfect, but this is Zoom. Zoom's not perfect. And then the rest is like the easy stuff. So now to set under the eyes, what you want to do is use a little setting spray. And I accidentally left my setting spray I was going to use somewhere else. So I'm going to use a different one. This is an organic brand. This is a vitamin D moisture mist. But if you really want it to last like all day, I would suggest using Gerard Slay All Day. It's a green tea scented and it's amazing. I'm just adding a touch more. So I have a perfectionism problem. But okay, now again, if you get a little anywhere else, you just kind of blend on the line. So now to set under the eyes without using powder, you spritz your beauty blender right on that edge. I usually do like 2 spritzes with the setting spray. And then you just gently, I'm barely pressing. I'm just like gently touching it to that under eye area. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And that will help it to stay all day. Now, if you want for after, when you set your whole face, I usually use that Gerard Slay All Day, but we also have a brand called Super Goop that has it has a setting spray that is SPF 50. So it can like refresh your, you know what, I don't always, sorry, Autumn, I don't always apply this with the blender, but when I'm doing under my eyes, I do. And any area, like sometimes if you're gonna be sweating a lot, if you know you have a hot day ahead or somebody's getting married in August outside, sometimes a good way to wear your makeup without having to make it look heavy is to do a very thin layer of your foundation or whatever you're using. spritz your face with your setting spray and then press it in everywhere with the Beauty Blender. Let it dry and then go back over with another thin layer and do the same thing again. That's a good way to get a really like soft look, but still get that all day wear. Yes, and everybody look in the chat, there's my 20% off code. And I'm just letting everybody know the 20% off codes are going to be changing soon. So this may be one of the last times you can get the 20% off. Plus, if you use my code, Lauren20, you get free shipping on anything over $100. So it's a pretty good deal, especially because, you know, cosmetics like really never go on sale. And it's a good time to get all the holiday shopping out of the way. So once you have that done, now we are going to, Misa, I totally get it. Trust me. Sometimes I'm like, do I work here just so I can buy the products? So now we're gonna jump around a little bit, but you'll see, it'll all make sense. Because I'm doing it the way I would do it at home, product by product. So now I'm gonna do my eyebrows really fast. This is Brow Gal, and this is called the Insta Tint. It has fibers to help build my like brows where I have sparse places. It has color. It has a tiny, tiny little wand, so I can use it pointing straight at me like a pencil. And I'm just really fast kind of filling in where I have sparse places. And see, and I'm doing it with it facing me like this, like I'm using a pencil. So it has the fibers to help build. It has the color, obviously. It has the ability to use it like a pencil, but then it also has like a gel to hold it in place, but it's not one of those shiny, like glossy, sometimes like dries white and crispy kind of eyebrow gels. It doesn't have any sheen to it. So I like to do this now because it kind of frames the face and gives me a better idea of like looking normal. So, and again, like if you always want to kind of go for a lighter tone. So unless you are very, very dark skinned and have very black hair, I would say most people with dark, because like I have black hair, but I'm using the brunette color. It comes in 3 colors. So if you are somewhere like in the light blondish to medium brown, you may be able to get away with the blonde color and it will look kind of softer on you. A full but soft looking brow is of course like the most young and flattering looking way to do your brows, but brows are very personal. Everybody's are a little different. So I like that this, again, it's like all in one. And some people will skip this step, but for me, I like to do it. So once that's done, now I'm going to my bronzer. So I'm using one of my favorites. This is Kevyn Aucoin, the Neo Bronzer. This comes in, I believe, 3 or 4 different shade ranges. So it's suitable for every skin tone. And it has kind of an ombre. So if you can, I don't know if you can see that. It goes from kind of a lighter to a darker with a little bit of a middle color. My lighting is just not great for showing these things. And it has a little touch of shimmer in it, but not like enough that it looks heavy or like shiny. So I'm using my Bdellium brushes. These also we have at Blushington. They are the best. They last forever. So you want to get the products just on the top in general, unless we're doing a different, like a special kind of look or special treatment. You want to get the color on the top of the brush, okay? That way we have control over where it's being blended, and we don't end up putting something on and then being like, how come it looks like it's everywhere now? Okay, so that's important. You always want to get the product right on the end. And then you always want to kind of knock off excess product. You don't want to blow. So now this is going to go right on my cheekbone. So if you feel it's a hard bone, from the hairline just to about this outer part of my brow. So, and you always want to do a back and forth blending motion. Now, I like to give it a little, like a little swipe up that way, because I want to look lifted. I don't want to bring attention to this. I want to keep it like up where it's highlighting my cheekbone. So then I'm going to take a little bit just around the hairline. You really want to make sure that your bronzer is really worked into your hairline well. And again, this is like personal, however much you want to put on. There's no, you know, it's your face. There's no rules. Like you just want to look and feel your best. And, you know, whether that's, like I said, running to, you know, school to pick up your kids, or at like a PTA meeting or at a work meeting. Okay. So then you want to bring it a little bit around the hairline. Now, again, like this is has to be a little bit personalized because we all have different face shapes. So that's something, again, that like if you enlist the help of a professional, that's something that a professional makeup artist can kind of customize to you and teach you that, you know, this is exactly where you want to place this. This is the best look for your face. So again, I don't know how this is looking on your computers, so I hope it looks good. But again, like I said, you add as much as you want. Okay. So now sticking with this, I'm switching brushes, and I'm switching to my Bdellium 783. It's kind of a soft, fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna dip it exactly in the same color. So you can do this with your bronzer. Tapping it off, and this is gonna go in the crease on my eyes. Now, everybody has different eye shapes, yes, it's a bronzing powder, yes. Everybody has different eye shapes, and they all sit in the sockets differently. So the most important thing that you need to know for this part is whether you have a defined crease or not. So the way you can tell if you have a slightly hooded or fully hooded lid, or a mono lid, or deep set eye, is when you look in the mirror, you want to look straight ahead. Let's say I'm doing it too. So you want to look straight ahead in the mirror, and if this part of your skin sits directly on your eyelid, then you're going to do it a slightly different way. If you have a defined crease, you can see the crease very clearly, like even with your eye open. So if you have the defined crease, you're gonna go directly in your crease, starting about center, okay? And you're just going to go back and forth like a windshield wiper motion, and try to keep the concentration of the color around this outer portion. So think of like right to where your iris starts, if you can see, to around the outside, and almost a little bit like a little C shape around the bottom. Now, if you're like me and you have that slight hood, what you want to do is, let me see if I can do this and you'll still be able to see. Okay. So you want to look straight ahead in the mirror with your eye open, but your eyebrow relaxed. And this is good. This is if you have a monolid as well, which is where you don't have, like, it's very taut and you don't have any crease at all that's visible. You still have an eye socket. We all have it. So what we're going to do is you're going to look straight ahead with your eyes open. I hope I'm not blocking the camera. And your eyebrow has to be relaxed. Very important. And you're going to do the exact same blend and same placement, but you're going to do it right above where you see your eye open. So right above the eyelid. Does that make sense? Does everybody see what I'm doing? Almost like you're drawing a little outline around your open eye. And when you do that, you create the look of a higher up crease. See it? Whereas this side, the color disappears into my crease because you don't see that with my eye open. Here you see it. You see that color just a little bit more. So again, it's essential to know like the right fit and shape for your eyes and your face. But once you know that, this is a breeze. It's literally bronzer on my cheekbone, bronzer in that crease area. And the best blend that you will ever get. Yep, Anna, I'm telling you, it's like a life changer when you find the right placement for your makeup. Let me see, I'm looking at you for a sec. Yeah, you have a deep set eye. That's what it is. Yes, okay, yes, absolutely. Yes, Misa, I'm sorry, absolutely. If you have a monolid, it's exactly the same. That's why I tell people, like, there's a million eye shapes, all of that, but the two main things when doing this part are whether you have a visible crease or an invisible crease. So if you don't have a crease that you can see with your eye open, and that includes a monolid as well, but you want to, it's important because if you raise your eyebrows, you're going to get in there. So you got to keep your eyebrows relaxed and just draw a little C shape around your open eye. And I do always like to kind of pull it, see, I pull it down a little bit because to me that gives, again, a little width to the eye. It gives a little width to the eyelid. But if you have very wide prominent eyes and you don't want to do that, you can stop right there. So once that's done, now we're switching again and we're going to curl our eyelashes. Really, really important. If you don't, anybody here terrified of curling your lashes? Or did everybody learn? Let's see. I'm looking. All right, I'm gonna show you, because to me, this is one of the most important things. I look like a different person without my eyelashes curled. If you wanna try it today, I can walk you through it and you will 100% see the difference. So you wanna stick your fingers in the two holes, okay? Exactly, Monica. Monica said we're in our 40s. We had to curl those bad boys. Exactly, that's right. Like that was like one of the first makeup things I learned. But I have clients all the time that are afraid. So if you don't know, you stick your two fingers in there, in those two little holes, right? Thumb and pointer, open them. And then I like to lean it back and close my eye. And then feel that feeling like it's right there, my lash line. Then open my eye. And then before you squeeze, just kind of like do a rehearsal. You're not gonna squeeze yet. You're just a dress rehearsal. You're just checking to make sure there's no pinch. If there's no pinch, Squeeze those two fingers together. If you're a pro, like Anna, I can see you're a pro, try lifting your hand straight up just a little bit. And then you just open your fingers. You'll see, Anna. So look at Anna's face. I know. Trust me. This is my life. I study these things. It really makes such a difference. So that's how you want to do it. And I always do that lift up. Yep, the lift up really works. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side. Same thing, lift up. I know it looks scary. Don't look at my raging looking eyeball. But yes. Yep, there you go. We're all in this together. So now I'm moving to my favorite product. Besides for my eyelash curler, this is the best mascara I have ever used. And I have pretty good lashes. So I'm always looking, I'm trying a different mascara every month. I am now addicted to this mascara. And that is a very rare statement to come from me. So this is the Anastasia. We just got it back in stock. The Anastasia Lash Brag. It's water resistant. Totally like new world for me. I used to only wear waterproof, but it's like a nightmare to get it off, or you have to use something really oily. And yeah, and this does like exactly what I wanted to do. Yes, sold. I have a client that got this and she said her husband said her eyelashes look like cartoon character. No, this is what's amazing, Teresa. This comes off really easily. It comes off like regular mascara would come off. So you don't have to use like a heavy oily thing and get all that oil in your eyeball and wait like 20 minutes for it to all clear out. So another little tip, I like to anchor my elbow on my table and just lean my head and focus on getting it really up at the base of the lashes, kind of lifting them up. And if you just wiggle and blink your eye, it gives you an extra little curl, because it's like having your hair blown out, and they use that tension. Can you people see this? The difference? I've never loved mascara before, but I love this mascara. I also have like very oily kind of eyelids, and my eyes water a lot. And I find that this is like one of the only ones that doesn't get all like smudgy underneath. Okay, do you see a difference? Do you see why it's good to curl your lashes and wear mascara? Even if I'm wearing nothing, I have to always do this. So anyway, you want to put on your mascara. I've just never, like I'm constantly trying to analyze mascaras, the wands, the bottles, the bottleneck. How is it that this one, it's great, but it always comes out with way too much product, or it's, this is the best one I've ever used. Okay. And then another little trick with your mascara, if you want to like enhance a curl, or if your lashes don't curl great and you want to, like, what I do is I fan them out. So if you take these edges and kind of pull them that way, and the inner edges, if you pull them up and in, it also helps them like stand up a little bit better. Okay, Monica, I have not used a mascara that promotes lash growth, but I have used that particular brand when it comes to lash serums, but I've never seen a huge difference in myself when it comes to lash serum. The main thing, yes, this mascara I would say is good for brides, but what I like to do always with a bride, Sam, is I will usually put just like a little, like a final, like seal coat of a waterproof. And actually Blushington has this one that is so waterproof, it's made for the beach. It's called Beach Mascara. But to me, and it's good for waterproofing. To me, it doesn't do though what this does, which is like build and lift and lengthen. This does everything. But so back to like the growth serum kind of thing. I'm very impatient. I've always like I'll buy a new eyelash serum. It doesn't last very long with me because I don't see enough growth or whatever. But I have throughout my life had times where I had the most incredible lashes. Yep, I'm doing under the eye too. Good question, Misa. I've had the most incredible lashes, and then I've had times of stress when my lashes started falling out. And I find that the thing that determines my lash health the most is the type of mascara I'm using. That's really what it is. It's like some mascaras, although they work great, I found that they kind of dry out my lashes, and that taking them off is a lot of extra work. And anything that like doesn't require a heavy duty removal or like a scrubbing, to me really is what I see the biggest improvement in my lashes with. But don't get me wrong, I have tried, and I have clients that swear by certain like specific brands, and they're all different ones. So, all right, so if you're spidery like me a little bit, take my comb, Q-tips. Sheila, okay, Sheila's asking about if I recommend mascara instead of faux lashes. I don't have one recommendation in one direction or the other. I think I definitely recommend mascara over lash extensions, but faux lashes, which are really meant to be worn like for a day, I think they're fine. I think it's a lot of extra work. And, you know, some of them that they say you can rewear them, you can, but you have to then clean them, you know, so it's just a lot of extra work. To me, mascara is the way to go. But obviously, if it's an event, if it's photos, I usually will add, you know, faux lashes on. So final step, final step. Ready? Everybody ready? Okay. So again, this is about getting out the door, looking put together without too much effort. I'm using a long wear lip color. Now you don't have to. Some people like just the little gloss and that's it. But I like this because this will stay on from like, you know, a board meeting, Zoom meetings, presentations, coffee with your friends, lunch. It stays on. It doesn't stay on all day, but it will stay on for a long time. And this is Girlactic. This one, for whatever reason, doesn't get super, super dry and tight on the lips, which a lot of those matte lip paints kind of do. So, okay, so, and I'm using this color Allure. I happen to think it's probably one of the most flattering colors on everybody, but there are a ton of colors from like nudes to like a deep red tone. So now here's exactly how I'm going to apply this though. First, I'm using my hand to blot that some of that lip moisturizer because I don't want it super slippery when I put this on, but I also don't want to use a tissue or a paper towel or like toilet paper or anything where I'm going to get all those like little crumbly lints on there. So I'm just taking a little of this, just kind of putting it that much on. I'm gonna press them together. I'm gonna take my finger and spread it on, just so that it's on kind of like a stain. Okay, now with what's left on my finger, ready? Smile, find the apple of my cheeks, stick to the upper apple, and just put a little there, put a little there. I don't know, I hope this doesn't look hypercolor on your screen. Mine looks a little bright, but it doesn't in my mirror. And then just tap a little bit and right over my eyelid. Thanks, Sharon. Sharon says I look beautiful and natural. It's very sweet. And then this is another great part. If you're on Zoom all the time and for some reason my top lip disappears on Zoom, you can overdraw with this and use it like a lip liner, and it actually looks more natural than a lip liner because it like stains the skin. This is Galactic, whoever just asked that. So I'm just turning it this way and I'm using the tip, that top little tip. You don't want to overdraw like too crazy heavy, but if you go right on the edge of your lip, or as it's called, the labial fold, you can certainly even out uneven lips. And again, if you don't want that to look too harsh, just pat it. Don't rub, just pat. And then with what's left there, I'm doing the other eyelid. If you feel like you need a little more of that pink, just take a little. You just want to make sure that you're using clean hands and fingers. You know, obviously if you have a cold, or if you have a cold sore outbreak, you don't want to ever go like from your lips anywhere else on your face. But as long as that's not like what's happening right at the moment, it's fine as long as you are using clean fingers. So yeah, a little like, now normally I would do this, like I do blush and I do blush on my eyelids, but when I'm doing my own makeup for real, this is how I do it. Just a few products, like a handful of products, and it comes out looking exactly the same. The fact that I'm using a lip stain means it's gonna last like all day. And then I just keep this like in my bag so that I can like moisturize my lips as the day goes on. And yeah, so that's the class. I hope everybody learned something. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a quick one for you, Lauren. This is Anna.
Yeah.
I actually just got my Blushington order, so I'm going to go buy more.
Yes.
But what was that called again? A hooded crease? Or
Oh, yes. Okay, so some people's, thank you, Sunita. Thank you, guys.
You look.
Thanks. Some of the creases are hidden. So it's like, again, like you could have a monolid, you could have a hooded eye, you could just be starting to get a little sag. Like some people, you know, when you're younger, it's like really taut. I can't even make it happen. I can't even pretend. But some people, it's like really taut. And then as you start to age, it'll sag a little bit, so that it, like, that's what's happening to mine. So it'll sit there, but you don't have to like, you know, go get plastic surgery to make it look different. You just adjust where you're placing your crease color and it changes everything. Okay, so Sheila, for eyelid primer, I really, to make everything super fast and easy, I like to use the, thank you, Anna. I like to use the color correction palette and do it all in one, like color correct. Now I feel like I could probably use a little Under eyes hydrated. Okay, so the best thing you can do is throw a little eye cream in your bag and just reapply as the day goes on. Also, you can use you can also use what do you call it? I'm just adding a little more color corrector. You can also use like a more emollient under eye cream if you feel like, yes, the products will be in the email. If you feel like you need something heavier, and also I swear by rolling in my under eye cream with one of those jade rollers, like makes such a difference, such a huge difference. So what's it called? Always eyeliner always taints your upper eye. I would say that the best thing when it comes to eyeliner is you just want to make sure that you're using like if you have teary eyes or oily eyes, I would say try to stay away from a liquid liner, because liquid liner is so much thinner in consistency that all it takes, even the waterproof ones, a little like eye watering, and it can start to like fall and spread. And you never want to do, like some people do, a tight line under the lashes. You never want to do that with a liquid, because it'll just end up everywhere. But yeah, so the best to do like a waterproof gel eyeliner, that's like the best. There, we have one at Blushington. I'm gonna give you guys my Instagram handle, and any other questions you have, please, like it's my pleasure. So just DM me and I will respond right away. It's Lauren Serra, just like my name spelled here. Lauren Serra Makeup Artist, at Lauren Serra Makeup Artist. So follow me. I believe there's a link in the chat for my next class that you can register for if you want. That's going to be makeup for your 60s. So it'll still be relevant, but again, like if you have friends or family members that are definitely in that age range, thank you, Monica, send them, okay? And I'll see you guys. And then after, I'm doing the following 2 weeks after that, I'm doing Halloween themed classes. So that's for everybody. Okay, so thanks again. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful night. Bye.